And that's not because it's anti-Semitic, not because we're anti-Semitic, it's because Zionism is a purely political project that has absolutely nothing to do with Judaism at its core. And I mean, that's been proven in its content of like what Zionism stands for, but also by the massive groups of Jewish people who have come out to say, nope, this is not representing us. This is not what our religion has taught us. This is just a political goal. And I think it's similar to how like colonization and even apartheid in South Africa, how they used religions to kind of get people on board. But anyone that cared to look a little bit deeper could see, actually, you're not really doing your religion. Just saying you are because you need a motivation for whatever other political goal you have. And so, like the Zionist project, the history of it is so revealing when it comes to this conflation between anti-Semitism and anti-Zionism. Zionism as a project was like theorized long before World War II. So it was literally called like a colonial project. That's not a secret. That's like in its founding documents. And the idea was that, yeah, to some extent, people thought, okay, the Jews need their homeland, and the homeland being where historically they lived. And there are some things about that land being promised to Jewish people, but being promised to you versus like requiring you to like murder Palestinians is like two very different things. And here you kind of see the similarities between how the United States was created with the whole like manifest destiny. It is our like, it's the instruction from God that we must kill all the Native Americans and take over the Americas. Like, it's trying to use something that's deeper than just we just want to kill them because we want land. Like that doesn't sound like a good sell. You need to have a bigger narrative there. And there was anti-Semitism, especially in Europe, which I guess gave credence to this idea of, okay, Jews do need to be safe. There were Jews living in Palestine before Zionism. Jewish people, Christians, Muslims living in relative harmony for decades before Zionism came. But what Zionism specifically wanted was, how do you create a Jewish state in an area that has a minority of Jews? And that's why the parallels of apartheid South Africa are so clear, because it's like, oh, you can't unless you use force, unless you use displacement, unless you use ethnic cleansing and genocide.